Welcome back to the Book of Jake. My name is Jake Abdullah. My guest today is an entrepreneur, executive, youth leader who's building his own path. I've been watching you while carrying a family legacy. You cannot run away from being the son of Datuk K, right? And more importantly, you're charting your own identity as a business leader, change maker. Asyraf Khalid, welcome to the show.
Hi Jake, thank you for having me.
Okay, let's start at the beginning. Now, growing up, you had access to certain legacy. Some could say that you were born with a silver spoon. Okay, some could say, but you've spoken about creating your own lane. What shaped your journey early on in your life?
Well, firstly, of course, thank you so much for having me. Really an honor.
Thank you.
I've been
Honor's
looking up.
mine.
But I've been looking up to you for a long time. So having this opportunity to talk to you and being in your show is really a big honor for me.
Thank you.
All right. So I think, of course, what shaped me, I think ultimately is my parents, I would say. I think they played a big role in shaping who I am. And I think, of course, my father being a entrepreneur, he was a banker before that. I think at the age of 38, then he became an entrepreneur. So he was a man of discipline. He was a man of consistency. He was someone that always wants perfection from the kids, kan. And even for me pun, as a young boy dulu pun, I punya masalah sampai hari ni lebih kurang which is I susah nak lose weight.
Yeah. I think you have lost weight from last time
a little bit.
Yeah.
But I think daripada kecil pun bapa I selalu, he wants perfection. Even though kita contoh we do well in school, tapi contoh badan I besar sikit, he's not happy. You know, he always wants to he wants perfection. But of course, as a human being, I always tell my dad juga, we are humans, we are not perfect, kan. There are some things that I can be good, some things that I'm not that good. But at the same time, I don't give up lah. Kita try to improve ourselves. And of course, I think as a young boy, and even sampai sekarang pun, I punya, orang kata, drive tu adalah to ultimately make my parents proud juga. Kan, of course, to create my own legacy and all that. But I feel like making my parents proud is important because I think they've worked hard.
So do you think at this juncture, your father is proud of you?
Maybe to a certain extent, kan. But I don't think he I think he said it once or twice. Like ada sekali I buka my Wisma Mutiara. He gave a speech at that time. He said he was proud of me. But then he said, but this is just like macam kalau guna Everest tu dah ada banyak ni kan. Ni baru baseline lah. Base camp. This is only the base camp. You still have a long way to go. But he said to reach to that base camp, he's proud lah. So I think to a certain extent, yes, but of course he expects me to become a better and better.
From what I'm hearing, how old is your father this year?
I think he's 66.
Okay, so your father is 6 years older than me. So I'm 60, right? Wow. So I think that generation, I believe that generation, they don't know how to say I love you. They are very kedekut with their, with their lavish with their praises and stuff. So, but I feel he is proud of you. I'm quite sure, Hopefully. So has he been? What was the toughest lesson you learned from your father?
I think when I got married, right? Maybe that time I was young, so I had two options. One is to go through that.
How old were you when you got married?
23.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
I would encourage more people to get married younger. Yeah.
So one direction is for me to stay in the family business, continue the legacy, go and do SimplySiti, and then the yayasan and everything that they are building. And the other path is me doing my own thing. And at that time, I decided to do my own thing. And of course, the reasons were, different. I think, when the generation gap, he was very hard on me at that time. And of course, I was his staff. So it's double the, staff and the son. So kalau you lambat tu, you bukan je lambat sebagai anak je, but lambat sebagai staff. So it's double the pressure, double the everything lah. So I decided to start my own. And I think, and when I decided to start my own, my dad told me, okay, if you do your own, it's your own life. You deal with it.
That is the normal line my father and my mother gave me. I quit my university, I quit my this one and this is, you know what, you're on your own.
Yeah. And they actually stick to that. And my dad didn't really help me with money or.
But isn't that a good thing?
Yeah, at that time, of course, I felt the pressure. Of course, at that time, I felt macam quite tough. But looking back, I'm really glad that he put me through that, because that is the biggest lesson he gave to me.
That's
because
very good.
as a anak orang kaya lah kan, what kind of benda susah yang I akan lalui kalau bapa I keep on giving me, right?
I agree with your father 100% because I think one generation has become very lax because like my father was just a government servant. I had to work really hard to get somewhere. So, and I'm spoiling my children. So it's the same thing, you see. So I think your father has got very good principles. Tough. I think he's a very tough person, but his heart's in the right place.
Yeah, but to be fair, he's very loving now.
Of course.
And now he's a different kind of father, you know. And maybe when I was young, susah nak dengar dia cakap I love you. But now, you know,
dah ada cucu dah.
Dah a bit relaxed lah.
That's good to hear. Okay, you said before that success is more about mentality than privilege. You know, you've been privileged. Can you explain a little bit more?
Well, I think everybody can be successful. And if you look at even example of my dad or even Siti or even yourself, you know, you came from not a really privileged family. Okay lah. But you became, you know, who you are. I'm sure it's not because of the privilege that you had, but because of the mindset.
Yeah, it's growth mindset.
The growth mindset and also the work that you put in. So I feel like, of course, you can have a certain advantage. And you can decide to use it or decide to not use it.
Very well put, yeah.
But for me, of course, whatever advantage that I have, of course, I want to use it for my benefit and for the people around me, right? So for me, I don't see anything wrong with that. And I think I have to be grateful to my parents because they work hard. You know, because they put themselves in that position. And I think I have to continue to do that also so that my kids will be put in a better position as well. So I think, you know, what we do will reflect our next generation as well, right?
You took on a leadership role in SimplySiti back in 2016. And what was your vision stepping into that brand?
Well,
and what were the biggest changes you made for SimplySiti?
Well, I think that time I was only like 23, 24 or 22 even. You know, like I think that was before I got married, right? You know, at that time it was more of a natural progression because I was working for my dad since I was young, since I was in high school, after high school, and then even in university when I come back for holiday, I would go into the office. And after that, I started as management trainee and then went through up the ranks and in the end they became the CEO lah. But I think when I became the CEO, that was the tough part, tough time. Because at the same time, my dad was there. He was still calling the shots, but I was the CEO, so-called, right? So, of course...
But he was still calling the shots.
He was still calling the shots because he was the chairman, right?
Yeah.
So, but for me, I tried to bring some things in. Like, for example, I tried to make it online, SimplySiti more online, and then...
Was he
at first,
accepting?
It was difficult. At first, it was a bit difficult, but I think they also saw the trend and stuff, and... At the same time, I did this collaboration with AirAsia where we did the plane and stuff like that. We did this skincare called Luminous White and sold a few 100,000 units or even millions of units. So that was some of the success that I could remember. But of course, that wasn't really me lah. We say that was the team. You know, that was the team and of course Siti and the whole operational and you know the whole team lah basically.
But you know, credit when it's due. You are more into education.
Yeah,
you're more into. I see you collaborating with Space Dollar and stuff. What's all that about?
Okay, so basically now I would say I'm a serial entrepreneur lah.
Okay. Explain that to me.
Yeah, I do a few different things. Of course, I have number one, A Klasse Essentials. A Klasse Essentials Remember is a company that holds the brand of Mutiara and also Jiwaku. So that one is sold in Watson.
What is that actually?
Mutiara is a health supplement drink.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a health supplement drink. Okay. And Jiwaku is also a health supplement for kids. Mutiara is for the mother lah, and we sold we are selling in Watson, in TikTok, in Shopee and all other online platforms lah.
How did you get this idea, isn't it?
This is mostly because of my wife lah. So she's from Indonesia.
Okay.
So she has a family root of taking this jamu,
botanics and jamu and all that.
So basically, it's a modern jamu lah, using the recipe from those days, and we modernize it and package it in a way where you know you can easily supply to you know masses lah.
Okay. So what about education? Suddenly I see you know going to Oxford and with Leap, and then I saw KJ there. I saw Space Dollar. I saw. What's this about?
So that one is under BDEC. I was appointed as a director. And
What is BDEX?
BDEC is a training
British
company.
something. Okay.
It's a training company. So basically, we do short programs in Oxford. So we get entrepreneurs from Malaysia who has reached a certain level, and we bring them to Oxford to have a immersive learning experience with the Oxford professors, and at the same time we also bring one mentor in lah. So the last time we brought KJ, and the next time we're bringing Tan Sri Vincent Tan.
Oh yes, I read about that. Yeah.
So and then after that we have more mentors.
Fantastic.
Yeah. So that's some of the ventures I'm in lah, and of course I'm also on board of director for PTTI. PTTI is an online tuition for SPM.
I saw you doing some work in Sabah.
Yes. With Sadiq and Bella. So, and I'm on board of a few companies. Milk Diaper. Milk Diaper, they do diaper. That one is with Datuk Kamarudin Meranon. And I also have this cafe or brand called Roti Awan. It's so basically at this point, I like to just invest in businesses and not much on cars or anything like that. So whenever I see good business, and I will try to come in lah.
So you are like an angel investor.
Sort of, but at the same time, I try to give value. Value by helping with marketing and also bringing whatever network that I have to help to speed up the growth process lah for the companies.
So were you involved in anything to do with youth, and was it Generasi Bersatu?
Generasi Bersatu, Generasi Bersatu Malaysia was when I was, I think, 21 years old. After university, and I started that, and that time Tun Mahathir was the patron, and I started it with a few of my friends, and that time our goal was just to shift mindset of young Malaysians to have big dreams. At that time, because I went to government school when I was standard 1 to standard 6, and then I went to KTJ when I was in form 4, form 5, right? So I saw a huge mindset difference in these two types of people, right? The ones yang dekat KTJ College Tunku Jaafar, they were thinking globally. They were so confident. They were like you, exactly like you. Orang yang speak very well, and like they are very positive and very different lah. And I think that was the gap that I saw in a lot of young Malaysians at that time lah. Now I think a lot of young Malaysians has become much better.
I still believe that there is such a big gap, like you said, within I memang sekolah kebangsaan kan. So I don't know whether this is going to contribute positively or not. But if you talk about private education, and like my son, same like you, standard 1 to standard 6 government school, then went to private school, and then you say that he's completely different. So there is a gap there, So how does GBM suddenly, harness this strength, and how do you?
That time we were just a few of young bunch of boys, and we wanted to try to make a difference. So,
or you all wanted to meet girls?
No. At that time, memang we did event with Tun Mahathir, with Siti, with Datuk Kamarudin, with Chef Wan, Raja Singham. So we really tried, similar to what I'm doing with Apa Cerita. I gathered all the successful people, because since that time I dah have the honor of knowing all these people, right? Even Patnil went on a tour with me, So
he's my very close friend.
Oh yeah, amazing guy, and he's one of my mentors as well. So from that experience, I think I got to learn as well. And for me, since I was young, I always believe in having the right mindset, because this is something that I see and I believe, but a lot of people might not understand what I'm trying to say. Like, I see that the only reason why you susah nak berjaya, or the only reason is all that.
Yeah, so
it's your belief system.
Yeah,
so
I agree
that's why
with you.
Since I was young, I believe that if you change that belief system, then you can change a lot of things in your life.
So since we're talking about mindsets, which I lecture on a lot, which there are actually 3 types of mindset. One is the victim mindset. One is the fixed mindset. Most people are fixed mindset. Then there's the growth mindset. You have a growth mindset. I have a growth mindset. I'm always asking myself, how do I improve? How do I get better? How do I, the things that standing between me and my goals are only my excuses. So, and I guess that when we are honest, I think you're honest to yourself. when you're honest to yourself, then you start to decide that, you know what, this person is not going to be part of my life anymore. This is not going to sort of empower my life. This is not going to grow my life. I'm taking it out. And it's tough decisions. People cannot make decisions. You know, so you have a growth mindset. Probably, from what I'm hearing, because your father. Your father has inculcated this into your head. You know, you have to do that. So this discipline, walaupun you tak, you know, Datuk K tak ajar you lah, you know. Tapi you nampak lah, you tengok cara dia kerja, how is he working, his discipline, is built into you.
I think if I may add, right, I think it's also, he sort of planted that in my mind since I was young, because when I was like probably 7, 8 years old, at that time he was already saying that I was going to be a billionaire when I grow up. So when I was a young boy and not doing much, adalah time yang kita macam naughty sikit kan, I couldn't accept that as myself. I couldn't accept that reality of this version of Asyraf. I needed to be a different version of Asyraf that can actually live to the full potential, you know. So I think that is something that he gave to me lah. He planted in my mind since I was young. Even during my wedding video pun, he said Asyraf is going to be the next billionaire. You know,
good.
So he always say this kind of thing, and of course, it's a we don't know if God gonna actually make it happen, but at least I'm not gonna accept my life kalau I ni jadi biasa-biasa. Kan, I will try my best, or I will find ways. That's why, and when you want to improve yourself, there's many methods. Ada book, ada people, ada mentors, you know. So yeah, I think that is something that my dad really
just to touch on what you said, I always tell people this. I said, my biggest fear is, as a Muslim, when I die and I go and meet my Maker Allah, I'm standing there and he takes a book like that and he says, Jake, oh wow, I planned so much for you and you tak sampai though. That's my biggest fear. So it's not about the money, it's not about this, it's about, have I reached my maximum potential? When they put me in the grave, I should have been used, you know. So that's my worry. And, you know, like I always tell people, you have so much potential, but potential means nothing without action, you know. So I think you've taken some great action. Now, from business to youth, you've played different roles. What do you see as entrepreneurship's role in shaping culture and opportunity in Malaysia?
Well, I think entrepreneurship is something that affects others, right? And of course, entrepreneurship exists because there are problems. Without the problem, then there's no solution and there's no business, right?
Precisely, yes.
So I think when entrepreneurs are innovative people, when entrepreneurs find the right answers to problems, then you can really, you know, coexist and also live in the market and grow in the market. Yeah, so I think entrepreneur punya role is very important, and I think we have to continue to grow and adapt, because the world is changing
very fast.
Yeah, very fast. And today you have AI, for example, and AI
is ramping up 10x, 10x every month.
And you know, AI can not only do they can summarize a book for you. They can be your psychic. They can, you know, be your neurology teacher.
AI, So Sam Altman said that, you know, in this lifetime we will see a solopreneur who becomes a billionaire. So that's about to happen. But it's interesting what you said, because
that will be me though.
Inshallah. But you're not a solopreneur. You are the group. I am a solopreneur. I mean. So something you said just now intrigued me, because one of my close friends who used to own Faith Malaysia also told me this, Chen Chow. He said, if you want to make money, find a way to fix a problem. You know, if you want to make more money, find a way to fix problems of rich people. It's really interesting, you know. So it's solutions to problems, like it. That's what you're saying. So for someone who feels like their background defines them, what advice would you give to young people growing up listening to this? I know some of you are going to be saying, "Alah, tapi dia ni anak orang kaya," but you haven't lived like that.
I think you just have to embrace it, right? It's something that God gave you, so you've just got to be grateful about it. And for me, just embrace the what you are given, and be proud of it. And you know, don't have to macam shy away from it or feel bad to you know, use whatever advantage you have. Because for me, in the end of the day, people fight or people would die to have an advantage that I have. You know, people would do so much to get the kind of network that I have.
They're only upset because They don't have it and you have it. Okay.
So why do I have to...
Okay, what if I don't have the advantage? As a young person who is 19, 20 growing up, what advice would you give me?
I think, number one, of course, you've got to be humble because rich people or people who are in a certain status, they don't like people who are arrogant. You know, you come in humble, try to learn from people. And I think the best way to go into a circle is, number one, to give value to them. And number two, to learn from them. Right? These are two things yang orang suka, especially successful people. Right? They don't like you to come to them and tell your problems. And you know, ada some people, they go to rich people and tell their problem, and then expect someone to just give them money to settle this problem. It doesn't work like that.
I get that every day on my LinkedIn.
Yeah, it doesn't work like that. But you know, but if they go to you and really you know that this person really want to learn, you probably be lucky and someone would want to guide you and use that opportunity wisely. And one mentor, one person can lead you to many things.
That's true.
Yeah. So for me, and just the only thing you have to do is work on yourself. You know, be humble, be nice to people. Doesn't matter like who you are, just carry yourself well. You know, and I think in the end of the day, you will see everyone is the same in the end of the day.
Actually, I reached out to Asyraf to ask him to be on the podcast, and he said yes. So I think you know, you are pretty humble that way. So
I don't see any reason to. I mean, if people ask nicely, people, you know, then we can always, you know, talk and discuss. And
so, what are you ultimately proud of being Asyraf Khalid in your whatever you've done in life, your accomplishments?
To be honest with you, I think I still have a long way to go.
But at this current moment,
I think at this current moment, maybe I think what I'm proud of, maybe is the fact that, you know, I've got to this far. You know, I think being 33 years old, being on board of probably around 10 or 12 companies at this age, and then making a good living, having a family that is very supportive. And, you know, one thing I may add lah, macam my dad always said, like, he had to fight on his own. And, you know, he got here because he had to fight on his own. But for me and my brothers, we are different because we have him and we also have the brothers and we have the support system. And I think this support system makes you stronger and can make you grow bigger. And for me, of course, I want to think of global. I don't want to just think of what we can do in Malaysia. Of course, Malaysia, we have to do our best lah until we don't become jago kampung. But at the same time, I also want to look at global opportunities. And I think without not say family support in terms of monetary, but without family support in terms of, you know, the whole support system, I don't think you can reach far.
That's very well thought of. Final thoughts for people who are listening to this podcast, and you know, any thoughts you have?
Well, I think to everyone that is watching, thank you so much for tuning in. For me, I think just continue to improve yourself every day. If you can improve 1% a day, in 365 days,
exponentially
you improve 3 times. You are 3 times a better person in 1 year. So, and of course, one thing that I want to really work on is also on my health. You know, hopefully I can also learn from you juga.
Inshallah, boleh.
60
Anytime.
years old, being this
anytime,
strong and fit.
Yeah, to me, because if you lose your health, you lose everything. So I got
to accept that now before it's too late, right?
Yeah, you're so young. You're 33. So you know, and I've seen people, staff of mine who had a heart attack at 38 and died about 7 months ago in Penang. So kalau kita dah sakit masuk hospital tu, then suddenly the only thing that matters is our health. So at that point, I don't want to regret anything, and that's why, like, after my subuh prayers, I was just telling my friends, yes, now I go for a run. There's no excuse for me not to work out. You know, so yeah. So, but you're looking better. You know, the next time we have you, you probably have some biceps.
Hopefully, probably not as big as yours.
Boleh. Thanks for being on the show.
Thank you.
You know, one of these days I'm going to get your father on the show and tap.
I should get him first. Boleh dapat lagi.
But he's always been very behind the scenes and all, which just makes him to me very intriguing, you know.
Mysterious,
so,
also,
mysterious,
right?
Yeah. So thanks for being on the show.
Thank you,
I really enjoyed it. Thanks a lot.